Hey and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. Before I get into this game, I'd like to ask you all please leave a like or comment on my video and consider subscribing to my channel. Now, for today, I'm actually going to go through the purpose and function of how you should play in most of your games. Now, I'm just going to go straight up with Master Yi. Now, in your game, you have three basic people who are needed all the time. You need a jungler to collect all of your boosts. Now that's the function I'm playing. You need a support, that's Blitzcrank. He's going to help you on your dragon lane. You need a tank down your baron lane. And those are your first three major roles. Now your support and okay, one moment. I just need to leave a message. So I'll go jungle. Now, the reason why I'm leaving that message is so that people understand that I'm supporting that function. Now, the last person hasn't selected their character. I don't know whether it's going to kick us out of selection. I've never seen that happen. Misfortune. Okay, so we have range on both sides. So one range is going to take the mid lane, one range is going to help support down the dragon lane, and the baron lane is obviously going to be our tank Darius. Now, this is the reason why you use these functions. Your jungler jumps into the jungle. He collects buffs, and once he has enough buffs, he jumps out onto a lane and he quickly makes a dash. He helps you with the fight, he reduces your enemy's health, and you finish off the enemy. So, my duty as the jungler is to be looking at the map all the time while killing enemies. I have to have a complete visibility of my map, looking at both lanes, looking at where all the enemies are. If I don't see four enemies on the map, I have to be worried because they're most probably running through the jungle. And if they're running through the jungle, that means that I might have to fight them in a one-on-one straight up combat. Now, when it comes to my ability, there's an ability called Smite. I have to kill four enemy monsters in order for me to be able to use Smite on champions. So once I'm able to use Smite on champions is the only time that I am safe in the game. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to take additional damage, and I'm now heading into the jungle. Now I can't explain everybody else's function, but I can explain my own function. Okay, we've got our two down the dragon lane, one down the support lane, and let's see if we're gonna have one down mid. Yes, there we go, 1-1-1. Now this particular monster will only spawn in a few seconds. There we go. The first thing I did was smite him. That is because the faster I can take him down, the faster I can handle doing more DPS, and this here is going to benefit me. As you can see, I'm not doing a lot of DPS per hit. I'm just doing small amounts, and that is actually still fantastically good for me considering that we just started. Now I take the second one as in the dash style attack, and I will do this. Now with that first buff, I now can set enemies ablaze. This does slow damage to them on top of the serious damage that I do of my primary strike. As you can see, I've taken out two enemies. I now need the third. Once the third enemy goes down, things will start to improve for me hopefully, and this is what we need. Now the faster I can do this, the better it is for me overall. So if I can clear out all these enemies in a shorter period of time, it means that I'm going to have less work to do later in the game. Okay, here we go. Two more. Fantastic. I'm all the way up. Now there was no chance for me on that lane. Alright, in the mid, there is nobody there. So if I do get this one down, I will be able to use Smite. And if I can use Smite on a champion, I might just stand a chance. There we go. I upgraded to Smite for champions. Nah, she pushed too early. Now I couldn't help with that attack. If she had pushed a little bit later, allowed the enemy to drift down a little bit more, I would have been able to actually do a lot of damage. Okay, I missed that one. Now since I'm under level 5, I will use the smite to kill these small little enemies. I'm now waiting for the timer for either the dragon or one of the other monsters to spawn. Kill the toad, and then I'll kill the wolf den. Now you will see that I'm still quite slow at killing them. That's because this is still just the start for me. I actually didn't take my ultimate because my ultimate really helps with mowing down bigger enemies. So I'm actually counting on it for a later stage in terms of power. There we go, it's on the other side. So what I'll do is I will kill everything, jump back to base, regen, and head up with double buffs. Now you're going to see me choose arbitrarily between these two. So there's it. It has physical vamp and 30. Oh, I should take both. Both. Sorry. So let me head in here. Let's see if I can gain another buff before I take on the enemy. Yes, I can. So I do about 100 a hit. Okay, perfect. I'm almost ready for my fight against the dragon. I have way more power than I would need to just kill. Okay, down that mid lane, we definitely need some help. Now I'm actually very worried. I see exactly 3 champions on the map. There's a possibility of the enemy surprising me where I am right now. So I need to save that last smite for the last bit of this fight. Now you might not think that these are important, but they give slight bonuses to your overall gameplay. Now, as you get into more and more complex team formations, the jungler plays a much more important role. Now, these neutral objectives, as most people would call them, they actually help you in terms of giving you overall power boost to your final end performance in terms of minions. So, your allied super minions can become stronger if you can take care of all the neutral objectives. That is the main purpose behind the jungler. Now, as you can see, there is nobody up front, so I'm just heading straight into the jungle. There are 2 missing champions. So, in no way am I safe. In no way do I have the right play for this particular moment. I have double smite ready. That's okay. 2 on the low lane. 3, 4. Okay, I've seen 4. 2 of them are dead, and I can see 2, 3. Now, that is my function as a jungler. I have to look for those opportunities all the time. And the moment it approaches, I need to take out these big objectives as fast as possible. Now, the Rift Herald is even more important than the previous one because after killing him, you literally can summon him and use him to help a lane. Now, which lane am I going to summon him on? That is obvious. I'm going to summon him down the last lane, the dragon lane. Okay, now that is unfortunate. I was actually going to summon him, but I lost that opportunity because someone else stole the kill from me. So let me just jump back in. Now, obviously, as the jungler, it is my role to clean out these dens as fast as possible, and the longer it takes me, the worse it becomes. Now, I'm not pushing down into the enemy side for two reasons. The first reason is if I push into the enemy side right now, I leave my own buffs for someone else to take, and I still need these buffs. These buffs are what's pumping me up in terms of power, and as you can see, my power is really increasing heavy. I'm now almost at 300 a hit, and I need to get even stronger. Now I know that some of you might be wondering, why haven't I spent my gold as yet and upgraded my champion? That's because I don't really need that upgrade immediately for the second. Yes, it would help me a lot with the next fight, but I don't see the reason in overdoing it. As you can see, he used it to improve his lane. There we go. Now you might be wondering why I didn't take any regen. Well, it's quite simple. If I take the regen, then I won't have the opportunity to do other things later in the game. Okay, I just need to wait. They have a major problem in the center, so I don't have to really worry. This dragon is almost no match for me. Baron Nashor is a team objective. I will need someone else to help me just to take him down. Okay. Now I'm going to jump straight back into the den because everybody has pushed up already. This isn't the time for me to make any silly pushes. Okay, Darius seems like he's interested in the main function on the side here. I might ask for his help. Let's see if he joins. Okay, now I'm forced to take on the heal. Obviously, I'd love to have my ultimate all the way with the 3 combat abilities, but things don't always go your way, and that is the reality of any battle in any game. Okay, now I could try and push up and help them, but the way that it's situated, I won't be of any use because he doesn't have very good crowd control. But once I have this power, I will be of use to them even if they do push down. So I need to make sure that I can actually do this quickly. I should be a little faster on these clearings. Okay, let's see what I can do in this side. Okay, that is some nice solid damage. I need to be upping my power even more than this for the next stage in this game, and that's just me being honest about it. I think this game is over. We've really dominated them at this point. We have more than enough power in the front. I'm not as powerful as the rest of them because I haven't killed much. I haven't died much either, but that doesn't really make too much of a difference. There you go. Now, what helped this win is everybody played their functions, we played our roles, we held our lanes, we were doing things just perfectly, gave us this perfect, smooth victory. I did exactly my role, jumped in when I was needed, when I could play the motion. I didn't take risky maneuvers. I'm actually going to give everybody a like in this lobby. Perfect game from all of them, all round. I do believe that that is a perfectly fine output. If you look at this entire score, even though he has 14,500, they still show that others had a little bit of a better output when it came to the actual combat. Now, that is because a lot of things determine whether you're good or bad in this game. It's not just about playing the objective. Even if I played the objective to the best of my ability, there are certain things that I needed to do in the objective to get through. Now, I needed to sneak around the enemy. I needed to kill enemies from the back so that I could get the big wins. And I needed to also keep up my performance in that game to make sure that I was taking enough enemies at the right amount of time. Considering that I was only 3,000 behind with 1 enemy kill and 0 deaths, that is a perfect game on my side for a jungler. I only need to join them in serious combat when things are pushing too hard. So if they made a beeline into our territory and were heading towards our base, I should have come down from the back while they were making a push from the front and use the Weiju style along with the dash and the smite to kill as many enemies as I can while they try to flee away. This would give us a 30 to 40 second break before enemies spawned on the map, and we should clear out as many of their minions, break through their turrets, and try to get into their base and do as much damage as we can on their base. Now, we didn't get to do that there. We had a fantastic play. Too many of them pushed forward. We wiped them out and we moved in. Now, I am learning the game through co-op. And once I have learned the game to a level where I am sufficiently capable, I can actually use Master Yi fantastically. I can use Gragas to some extent. Now, I'm nowhere near as good as I am with Master Yi. I can use Garen, still nowhere near to Master Yi. I'm actually as good with Master Yi as I am with Gragas. So those two are on the same title for me. When it comes to the rest of the players, I'm really poor in my performance. As I said, you need to have 5 champions mastered in order to be a good player, and once you have 5 champions mastered, you can't have 5 of the exact same champion. Now, the reason why I mastered Gragas is Gragas can be a fighter up front, he can hold mid lane, he can take the jungle. So those are the 3 things that he has. He can go Baron lane. So those are 3 functions, 1 character. If I can master him and take up that heavy difficulty turn, I will be able to do a lot more. I can also use Yasuo. Now, the difference between Yasuo and players like Gragas is Yasuo uses a ward to generate a defense, and then he attacks while people are attacking against his ward. Now, with all of this being said, there's a lot of things that need to be understood about how to use him. I still have only just started it. I know that I have to use the standard strike several times in order to use his ultimate, and his ultimate has to be cast really fast while the enemy is still flying. So it becomes really difficult, and I've only managed to cast it 1 time. So hopefully in the next few weeks I will become a little bit stronger in this game, and I'll be able to actually execute at least 5 characters. I should learn to use Seraphine because she's a support role character. She can heal you in combat and she has a massively good amount of damage with range. So that is the purpose of Seraphine. In the same category of her is Sona. In another category of support is Blitzcrank. He can help you pull enemies closer. He can also help you stun and hurt enemies faster. In that similar role of support is Lux. I have played with her once only. I struggle to use her against minions, and I struggle to have her play in the support role. Now, beyond those three, there's Miss Fortune. Miss Fortune is a long range combat dealer. She's ranged attack. She is the strongest marksman that I own. Unfortunately, that means that I am limited to one playstyle in the long range combat. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day. I hope this video has helped you with some part of your gameplay.